All right, it's Monday, October 20th. Time for a beginning of the week update. So, slight change of plans. Going to come up with a slightly new game plan here. I'll explain why. So let me put this around and I'll explain. Okay, back it off. So I was in town yesterday and I stocked up on some new 2x4s. Just a little tip for anybody that goes to Lowe's or Home Depot to get their lumber. If you go there on a Sunday afternoon after like 4:30, there's not a lot of people in the lumber department. So you can take your time and pick through the piles to find all the nice straight 2x4s. So I was able to get a bunch of pretty nice ones. And also they're still using staples on these 2x4s. I don't know what they're used for. They're holding them together or something, but you might want to take with you a pair of pliers or linemen's or something to remove those staples, because boy, if you're not careful, you can get a nice little puncture wound from one of those staples sticking out of a 2x4. And it means a nice little trip to the emergency room for a tetanus shot and whatever else they need to patch you up with. So be careful. All right, so I was also able to get two nice straight 2x8s for the upcoming carriage door project, carriage doors. I went with 2x8s because that will give me a nice solid surface to screw in these hinges here. I bought a set of these hinges to mount the doors to the actual building. So, these 2x8s will be the spine or the backside of the doors, the carriage doors that get screwed to the actual building itself. So it'll give me a nice solid place to screw the hinges into. And of course on the building side, I'll pack it out with some additional 2x6s. So got a nice solid surface to bolt to there as well. Also this 4x4 here, it's another little side project. That is going to be a post to remount the circuit breaker box for the well pump. It's right next to the well pump pressure tank, and that thing is, the one that's there now is completely rotted out, and I think the only thing holding it up is the spider webs. So yeah, that's going to have to get replaced. So that'll be for that. I'll just paint it, and not much to do with it, just paint it, and then I can remount the circuit breaker box that's on there. Okay, on Saturday I finished up cleaning this entire wall with just by hand with paper towels and a little water and some of this Lysol spray foam stuff. I like it, it's pretty good, it works well, it's got a good sprayer, and it seems to clean things really, really well and gets the dirt off the aluminum walls there pretty easily. So I've cleaned this off completely. It's ready to just power wash on the inside and maybe along the floors, and then on the outside, and then it's ready to be caulked all the way along, like I mentioned before in a previous video. And that worked out so well that I think I'm going to do the same thing on this wall here. So I got to move all this stuff out of the way and prepare to clean the inside of this wall. And again, we'll clean it and then do a power wash of the whole perimeter there, and then caulk it on the outside just to seal it up. And that should really pretty much finish me up for sealing the building, except for the carriage door and the man door that I'm going to install right next to the carriage doors. So speaking of that, I did order a pre-hung 80 by 32 inch steel outdoor man door that will go right here. So I'll mount the door here. It's just like a regular door, front door. It's made out of steel. And then the carriage doors will be, this will be the left one, and then this will be the right one here. So they will swing into the building. And they will be the full height up to here. And the man door is only like 80 inches tall, so there's a little bit of space above it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. Maybe I'll do a little window or something, or maybe even a screened in thing that allows air to flow out in addition to, that vent up there. I'm not sure yet, but let's go around the back side, because that's the other half of what I plan on doing this week. I want to basically wrap up that whole back wall, cleaning it on the inside and then painting it on the outside, just like I did the front. And that's gonna take me probably a week or so. And the door, the man door that I was talking about, I ordered it and it won't show up until the 30th of October. I can pick it up at Lowe's, and since I got another week or so before that, I will get the trailer at U-Haul. I'll schedule that so that I can pick up the man door, but also get all the sheets of the OSB and some additional 2x6s that I'm going to need to frame up that front section for both the man door and the carriage doors. But talking about this back section here, I want to get it all painted this color, this southern summer peach color. And so I'm going to have to clean all this off here and do 3 coats everywhere. This has already got 3 coats on it. But one of the things I was looking at here, I can power wash this and scrub it a little bit, but some of it's not too bad. But over here, I mean, there's just, I don't know what the hell happened. Somebody was painting it. I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. I mean, it's a freaking mess. Yeah, look at all the runs of the paint. I don't know if I'm going to just paint over it or maybe take the sanding tool to it and get rid of some of that stuff. Yeah, it's pretty nasty, and I think let me back this out again. How do I do that? Yeah, okay, so if I paint it with the summer peach, it's really going to show up all those little drips. So I think I'm probably going to have to sand it to get rid of a lot of that. On the other hand, the nice thing about this having been painted with this dark purple, whatever color it is, it really sticks to the aluminum. So that's a good thing. I spent a lot of time getting that paint off of another piece of aluminum for the little roof over the front entrance. Yeah, it was really stuck on there. So that's a good thing. But yeah, I don't know how to get this off here. That's just going to take a lot of sanding and stuff. So, but I think it'll look a lot better once it's all painted in this summer peach here. And so that's the plan. Clean the inside of this wall, paint the outside, and then again power wash all the way around the perimeter and caulk it up. And then that should seal me front and back walls, and then I can concentrate on putting in the man door and then building the carriage doors. So that's it for Monday morning. We'll see how it goes. Talk to you later. Okay, Monday, October 20th, end of day. So I was able to power wash all along the front. Power washed all along the front of the building here, up underneath that lip. So tomorrow I'll be putting the caulk in there and finishing that up. And also, let's go in here and turn some lights on. I was able to power wash this whole wall, floor, all the way up around the ceiling, down here, and all the beams, or all the studs, floor, the ceiling, up in there. Really shot the heck out of it up there to clean it. And now it's drying. I've got a fan down here just drying the sill plate. I'll move it over to here a little later, dry that up. So this wall is basically done, except for that caulking. And then I basically just started clearing out this wall, getting ready to start to clean it up and power wash it. I haven't really done anything on the back side of this wall yet with the painting, but that'll be coming tomorrow. So that's it for today. All right, it's Tuesday, October 21st, mid-afternoon. Thought I'd just do a quick update with what I got accomplished today. So let's just flip around and zoom out. So I have caulked all the way around the perimeter underneath that metal lip here, where the Quonset hut metal sheathing sticks out about an inch or so. And that was a little bit more challenging and took a little longer than I thought, but it turned out really well. I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm glad that's done. It's just got to dry now, and then I can paint with this summer peach underneath there, just with a brush, just quickly go over it and paint it to finish up everything. And I think while I have this out, I'm going to do the trim of this vent in the red, so that we get some red up here, the red of the roof, the red of the light post, and then I'm going to do like a baseboard drip edge down here at the bottom, also in red. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the doors yet, but you know, it's just going to have little touches of red all the way around the front face. So some of the other things that are going on is I did get an Amazon delivery. So I've got the second set of these small lights that go into the holes, these 1-inch holes. They're the little LED lights. And I had to buy a second set because I have 18 LED sockets to fill, and the kit I have only had 16. But it's not really a bad thing, because what I can do, I got another charger or electric converter in this one, so I can wire both of them independently. Each side will have a converter running the lights, and then I'll just put the converters into an outlet and switch that outlet on and off, so that they go on and off simultaneously or at the same time. Also, this wood filler came today, so I'll be using that to do a little bit of repair work on this guy here and some other places. And this is what I went with. I wanted a wood filler that specifically said right on the face of it, waterproof, so there can be no misunderstanding, because these are going to be pretty much out in the weather all the time and probably get a lot of rain on them. So I don't want that wood filler cracking and, you know, washing out. Who knows? But yeah, that's what I'm going to use to fill those cracks. So yeah, that's it for in here. And then let's go out back. The next thing I'm going to do this afternoon is start washing this back wall with the scrubber tool, that big whirling brush tool that I have, and then start doing some painting. So I'll probably just try to get maybe, let's see if I can back this off a little, maybe this little section here and maybe a little bit up there done today. at least with one coat. But as I came back here, I haven't been out here in a while. Looks like somebody has taken up residence on my fan units. Yeah, he's a cute one, huh? Oh yeah, that's a good one. So he's gonna have to get evicted from there. Sorry about that, but he can't stay. And then as the rest of the week progresses, I'll start maybe on the low section here, scrubbing that and doing one coat of paint. Probably try to do as high as I can just by hand. Do 1, 2, 3 coats, 1, 2, 3 coats. So I get everything 3 coats with the summer peach except for like this section. And then I'll bring the scaffolding around and I'll work from the back side and do pretty much what I did on the front wall on the back wall. And of course I got the cleaning to do on the inside of this back wall, so probably be doing that a little later as well. All right, that's it for mid-afternoon update. I'll talk to you in the next one. All right, it is Wednesday, October 22nd. And another nice day here. It looks like it's going to be more of the same from yesterday today, with maybe a sprinkle of a few little interesting projects. So let's flip this around and go into the Quonset hut. So yesterday I was able to get this entire section cleaned, actually all the way to here, this one here. All that is cleaned by hand with paper towels and the spray foam cleaner. So today the goal will be to get this little section cleaned and also this little section cleaned, actually all this, and that'll complete everything underneath this horizontal set of spacer blocks. So then on Thursday and Friday I'll concentrate on all of this up here. And I'm thinking ahead to when I power wash this back wall. As I did the front wall, there's a lot of water built up on the floor, and on the front I could just easily just broom it out the front. Well, I don't have that option here. So I'm thinking that I may in fact pull the nails from this piece of aluminum. I'm not sure where it ends, but there's a piece of aluminum on the backside that actually drops below the other pieces of aluminum. And I want to cut it off flush with all the others so that when I put the bottom piece just to seal it off on the bottom, it's all the same with all the other ones. Now, we got things dropping on the ceiling here. That's just acorns dropping from the tree. So I want to cut it off, and by removing the nails and actually pulling it off the wall, I'll be able to cut it a little easier with the metal cutting saw blade. But it also will allow me to cut out this sill plate here, and then the water that builds up I'll just be able to broom it right out the bottom here. So that's going to be an interesting little project. It should be a lot of fun. Not really, but and then I'll put the sill plate back, or depending on how I find the wood to be on the backside, maybe it's rotted or whatever, I'll replace it. But from what I can see, it looks decent, but you never know until you get in there and actually take a look. So that's the plan for cleaning this inside wall. And I also built another one of these rolling platforms for this shelf unit. That really helps me move all this junk around so that I could have room way in the back there just to clean and to power wash and not get anything wet that, you know, really shouldn't get wet. And so what I think I'm going to do, it just works so well that I'm going to build another platform like this one, which is a little wider than these guys. So I'll build the platform and then put this metal shelf unit on top of it. And that'll allow me to move all of these around anywhere I need to have them moved. And then later I'll build another shelf unit like this one. And that just sits on top of this rolling platform. It screws in from the bottom. So then I'll take this that's just sitting on the platform and probably move it up to the little shed. So this metal shelf unit will get put back up into the little shed up there and just sit in front of one of the windows. Just give me a little extra shelf space for bips and bobs, you know, you always have those. So that's what I plan to do with that. And I also started to put the first coat of the wood filler into the cracks of these. You can kind of see where the crack is and how it's been filled. This one too. And I really like this stuff. It's very, very smooth. It's easy to, you know, get into the cracks in the wood and then, you know, smooth it out on top. So I think that'll work out pretty well. And again, it's waterproof, so that's really what I need. So once I sand this, maybe do one more coat. There's really not that much. It was this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. That's all. So it'll go quick, and then I'll just throw another coat of paint on them and they'll be ready to have the lights installed. All right, and then also yesterday, let's go around back. Excuse me. I did get some painting done back here, and I think I'm going to continue on with it today. Let's take a look. So yeah, I got this back right, back up a little bit here. This back right side here got painted with the first coat, and in order to just keep it all straight in my head, I think I'm going to do one coat all the way along here and then come back with the second coat, do that, and then finally a third coat back again, and that'll just leave this top section here to do the 3 coats on. So that's will help me you know, keep straight where you got 1 coat, 2 coat, 3 coats, just like I did on the front. I went over, back, and back again, and that gave me 3 coats. And if you look here, I rinsed this off a little bit yesterday. You can see how this one piece of aluminum just sticks below the others, and I just like to cut it off straight across here, and then I'll put a base plate or something all along this bottom section and just caulk the heck out of it, and, you know, maybe put a little bit of an angle on it so that water will come down the building and run off. Right now what's happening is this dirt, when the rain hits it, it splashes up on the wall and gets dirt on the wall, but eventually there'll be rock here, so that will eliminate the problem of the dirt splashing up against the wall. So yeah, this is the piece of metal I'm going to have to remove, this one here, and then I'll cut it, and I'll cut the sill plate out, and I'll have a spot to, you know, broom the water out. Okay, well, I guess I better get at it, so I'll talk to you in the next one. All right, it's Wednesday, October 22nd, late afternoon, and I got a few things done. Didn't quite make everything that I wanted, or didn't quite get done everything that I wanted to get done, but hit a few interesting snags, I don't know, maybe. So let me just flip this around. Now, on this side, back it off a bit, I got all of this side of the Quonset hut, first coat all the way up to here, and look at that. Okay, I took that piece of metal off, and this is what was there. And the fact of the matter is, this sill plate here is actually not too bad at all, but I can't easily cut it out without destroying it. They have 3 concrete nails in here. Let me see if I can zoom in a little. All right, so they got one here, one, where is it? Here, and one over there. You can't see that one that well, but and they drive right into the concrete, and it would be difficult, to say the least, to get them out of there without absolutely mucking up that board. So I still need a way to get water out of here when I'm power washing this back wall. So tomorrow I'm going to go into town. I need more of this southern peach, summer peach. I forget what it's actually called. I think it's southern peach. I'll find out. And I also need some green paint for that 4x4 for the electrical circuit breaker post by the well pump. And I don't have a Sawzall, and I have no way of actually cutting this out, you know, flush with the jam. So I'm probably going to pick up a battery powered Sawzall at Harbor Freight and then cut that out of there. And then I'll get another piece of treated 2x6, and I'll cut it and put it back in there, and I'll just caulk it along the bottom. So that'll be my replacement, even though it's still it's pretty good shape. And let's see what else. Yeah, so I'm gonna just put a tarp over this for tonight and go into town first thing in the morning, get the paint, get the Sawzall, get this cut out. I'll be, after videoing this, I'm gonna go in and clean the inside of the side walls and get that done. And then, yeah, we'll just keep moving forward. I'm almost thinking of getting another door for back here. This is a 36-inch opening. I could just, either I could get a 36-inch door, or I could pack it in a little bit on each side and put a 34 or a 32 or a 30-inch door in there. So yeah, I got a little bit to think about, but yeah, I think it's in reasonable shape. So we're going to just keep moving forward. This, unfortunately, I don't know if you can see it, but the paint job on this is really nasty. I mean, yeah, there you go. You can see that. Look how terrible that looks. That was the previous person painting up here, and it just ran down. And I just painted over it, but when the sun hits it just right, boy, it really looks terrible. I don't know if I'm gonna sand and repaint. Probably at some point. I think I just want to get it all painted first, and then I'll come back later, maybe and do sanding and repainting. So just want to get this wall sealed up somehow, painted, sealed up, cleaned, and you know, we'll be good to go. And then later on I can decide if I want to come back and touch things up. All right, well, that's it. I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, quick quick update. It's only been about 20 minutes or so, but I was able to actually cut that sill plate out with these two hand saws. I basically just, got it started with this guy and then finished it off with this. This is nice because the cutting is on the pull. So you're pulling like this. It's a little easier because I could get it flush with or level with the cement here and pull and not destroy my blades here. So yeah, it took about 15 minutes to cut, but not too bad. And the board itself, I mean, you can see it's really not awful, but I will replace it with a new piece of treated lumber. But now this gives me a way to get the water out when I'm power washing that wall. And I'm still thinking about whether or not I want to put a door here or not. I mean, I can always do that. So yeah, just gonna get the tarp up for tonight, and I'll think about it, see what I come up with. All right, that's it. All right, Thursday, late afternoon, October 23rd. Time for a quick update. It was not that productive of a day because I had to go to 2 different towns for supplies, so that really ate up about 4 hours or more of my day. But when I got back, I did do a few things, and I'll show you what I got done. So going around to the back side of the Quonset hut, around, zoom out a little. All right, so I got the second coat of the Southern Peach. That's the name. It's not Summer Peach, it's Southern Peach. I know because I went to get more paint today, so I had to give them the exact name. It is Southern Peach. So everything that you see painted, except for around the shutters, is 2 coats. And 2 coats is definitely better than 1 coat, but if you look at it and the sun hits it right, you can see the underlying paint. You can still see through it. So that 3rd coat is really required to get a nice finish. And the more I think about it, I'm definitely going to have to come back and fix some of this because it's just a disaster in terms of a paint job. But I want to get it all painted, and then I can say at least it's monocolor on the backside here, and come back and fix it later. The door, this had a little like white section around it where that big metal piece was just plastered on top there, so I got that scrubbed off, and then a first coat on that. And while that was drying, I came back. I kind of came from the same direction before I came this way and got the second coat on it. So yeah, that's 2 coats on the back side, and the 3rd coat hopefully tomorrow. And let's go inside real quick because I'm losing light. Boy, it gets dark earlier these days. Glad I got lights inside the Quonset hut. So let's go inside here. And that big piece of metal or sheet aluminum sheathing, I cleaned it up, I scrubbed it outside, washed it off, and I'm now marking it for where I'm going to cut it. This is what I decided to do with this whole door here. So I'm not going to put in another door. I just don't think I need it. However, I'm thinking that come springtime, what I'll do is put maybe 2 fans, one here and one below, just stack them so that I get some breeze coming from both sides. The 4 over there, I can put 2 over here, and that should give me, air draw from the back on both sides. But for right now, I'm hardly even using these fans because the weather has cooled down pretty much to the point where I don't need them, except for if I'm trying to exhaust some paint fumes or something like that. That's the only thing I'm really using them for right now. So what I'm going to do is take that piece of aluminum and I'm cutting it. You can see the the lines on it. It's 86 by 40, and that just barely goes around this frame. So what I'm going to have to do is, you know what, I'm going to stop this. I'm going to go outside and I'll show you, because it takes a little explanation and a visual to understand this. So hang on one second. Okay, I'm back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unbutton all these nails all the way around this door frame, and I'll pull the metal back and slip that piece in here. It'll come to about here on this side and here on the other side, and I will it'll actually slide up underneath this sheathing that's already there, and that way the rain will, when it comes down, it'll run off this top piece and then down. What they had before was they just put a piece, just plastered it right there, so rain was like getting in that crack because it wasn't underneath the existing sheathing. So I will slip it under there, and then I'll caulk the heck out of it, and then I'll probably, I'm going to try using some stainless steel screws with those little rubber grommets to just button this back up once I remove all these nails, and then put that new piece of sheathing here. Then I'll use the stainless steel screws with the rubber grommets and see how that works. And of course I'll replace this board, and I'll just caulk the heck out of it. And then come springtime, I'll probably frame this up, maybe a low wall here, and then a divider here, and then put the two fan boxes, one here and one here. But that's for another day. I just want to get this sealed up for winter time and be able to move on to the carriage doors and the man door. So that's it. That's really the only thing I got accomplished today. One other thing I did notice, though, down here on both ends, I'm going to have to do something with this here. It's basically exposed. You can see the wood is exposed there. So I'll clean that up. I'll put a piece of metal sheathing underneath this one and make sure it's completely sealed and no water gets in there. And also the same thing is on the other side. I don't know why they left that there. Obviously the water was going to get in there and start to rot the wood. It doesn't look too bad, but I can tell it's starting to show some signs of water damage. But I think I caught it early enough. I'll slip in some sheathing there, caulk it up really good when I caulk the whole underside of this lip, and then it should be good to go, completely sealed for the weather. All right, talk to you tomorrow. All right, Friday, October 24th, and I am running out of light. It is late afternoon, and I'm trying to get this in before I can't shoot any video. All right, let's go on the back. Today, I did get my third coat of paint on this back wall. Zoom it back out. So yeah, looks good. When the sun hits it, you can probably see a little bit of that dark blue underneath this, but it's pretty good. I mean, a fourth coat would be great, but really not necessary. I also took a little time to test out what it would take to get rid of these drips. Let's see if I can focus on them. Yeah, it's hard to see now at the end of the day, but down here I used the little circular sander down here, and just that little bit, that's about 5 minutes worth of work just to kind of get rid of some of that extra drippy dried paint. And it really depends on how far you want to go. I kind of went down to bare metal here. You could take a little less time if you just wanted to smooth it out. And then I tried up here also with the small sander. I thought, well, what would it take just to kind of remove some of these drip lines here. So that was about a minute, maybe a minute and a half. And then this was like maybe another 2-3 minutes. And I think it's just, at this point, it's just kind of smearing it around. So the next I'm going to do is try a flap disc on the battery operated angle grinder. That's going to be a little more aggressive, but we'll see how it does in terms of time and, you know, how fast I can get rid of some of those drip marks. All right, so let's go inside and talk about the inside. What else, right? All right. All right, now I have hand cleaned this entire wall. So it is clean from left to right, bottom to top, done, ready for power wash. And that was not fun. Up here above this line was pretty nasty, as well as down here in this corner, very, very nasty. And up there by the vent, that was awful. I mean, there was every kind of dead bug you can possibly imagine. Bees and roaches and spiders and even a cicada, you name it. It was dead up there in this, caught in this shelf and in the louvers on the outside. So from the inside, what I did was I brought the hose in and I could spray it out. So it knocked a lot of it out, but I'll do that again with the power washer. And I think I'm going to have to remove this louver, the whole thing, and do a better job, because the mesh that's in here, it just sits into a little groove and it really doesn't make a very good seal, especially along the very top. There's like a little tiny opening, and even though this whole thing is 99% sealed up with that mesh, you know, the bugs will exploit that 1% all day long. And you know, they will get in, there's no doubt about that. So I'm gonna have to pull this one, fix it, and then put it back in and caulk all the way around it, and you know, make sure it's completely sealed. So yeah, no bug entry allowed. So yeah, everything over here, this was kind of nasty up here as well. But it's all ready for power washing at this point. So that's about it for this week. I will continue on tomorrow, maybe doing the power washing. I think we're going to get heavy rain on Sunday and some rain on Monday, and then it's going to get nice again. So power washing during the rain, not actually a bad option, because what the heck, everything's getting wet anyway. So all right, I'll talk to you next week. All right, one more thing I forgot that got done today was cutting this piece of sheet aluminum. It's 40 by 86, and I cut it with the metal cutting saw blade, and it took about 5 minutes to cut and about an hour and 10 minutes to clean up all the little aluminum particles. So yeah, I mean, it's shades of yesterday cutting the metal for the roof above the front entrance. So yeah, that stuff just gets everywhere. But I got it cut and it's all sanded, so this is nice and smooth. I'm not going to cut myself when I'm putting it up. And then this will go on the outside of this back door over here. So it'll just look like more sheathing on the back side. You will never even know there's a door there. But it will be installed properly so that the rain will come down on the top sheathing here, and then it will slide underneath there and then run down. So no entry of water. And of course I'll caulk it. So Yeah, that'll get put in after everything's been power washed, because I got to remove this thing here and the sill plate so that I can broom all the buildup of water out of here. All right, that is actually it for this week. So I'll talk to you on next Friday.